You on, Grace?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay,
It's ready.
thank you. Okay. We'd like to reconvene our meeting, the evening session.
Mic's off.
Thank you. Now the evening session of the April 13th Board of Supervisors meeting. And we will start with general public comments, which does not include comments for which the public hearings are occurring tonight. So if anyone has any public comments, we'll open that public comment period, and please step forward if you have something you'd like to tell board supervisors. Okay, we'll close the public comment and move on directly to the first public hearing of the night, special use permit 253, social temporary event in excess of 12 such events in a calendar year, et cetera.
It is staff's recommendation that we defer this application until the next meeting. We request you go ahead and move forward with the public hearing as it's been advertised and scheduled. And then, as stated, defer the application. Staff received some new information today, and after discussions with county administration, we think that's the best course of action at this time.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Bishop. We will proceed with the public hearing on special use permit number 253, 4-1-58. Anyone who wishes to address that special use permit, you have 3 minutes. And any of you may come forward if you have something to say.
That's the snow permit, I want to mention that.
Okay. Please state your name and address.
I'm Betty Slough, 1376 Chapel Hollow Road. Can we know what the new information was that y'all got today that you wanted to change the hearing?
You're supposed to address the board.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we'd like to know what the new information is. When will that be published?
All right.
Her recommendation is deferred, and that way you'll have plenty of time to get it.
Okay, well, we have concerns on our road. For one thing, you know, they're talking about 20 parking spaces is what's allowed, what's required, one for every 200 square foot of assembly use. That's 20 cars. Where are they gonna put the other 55 to 100 cars that will be coming in if they allow 300 people for events? Are they gonna park them in the field, or are they gonna park them on Chapel Hollow Road? That's an issue. I question whether anybody's done a hydrology study, because we're putting another assembly use, and you can call it a farm use or an assembly use, but it's still 300 people that will be using water resources on that road. The school had to drill 13 wells, I believe, to get their sprinkler system and enough water to serve the school. So if this place uses the water resources, what happens to the houses that are already on the road that have wells? If their wells go dry, can the county provide water to their houses now? That's gonna be a problem. And if you allow this, you're looking at it for a businessman who came in from another county and not looking at it for the residents who live there and do live there and do their, you know, this is an agricultural area, and this use is not agricultural. It's a party event. And they can call it what they want, but that's what it is bringing 300 people into a small area, and we'll use the resources. So unless we require somebody to do something with the water study and with parking, there are gonna be problems. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak on this issue? There, I will close the public hearing and just make note that the board is not yet privy to that additional information yet. It'll be published in the next agenda packet for, if it does come up for consideration at the next meeting. And you'll have another opportunity to comment based on that information at that time. We won't have another public hearing for it, but you may speak to that additional information if you have to. Yes?
I'd just like to add that I also just received this information today about 4:30, so I haven't fully processed it yet myself.
Okay. Will the planning commission have an opportunity to review this information as well?
I'm not sure yet.
We'll hear from Mr. Payne. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Are we looking for a chair to table this? Or are we looking to delay it 60 days or 30 days? All
We don't have to take action
You can
tonight.
table it now and bring it up at any time.
right, so that means that's not doing anything.
We don't, yeah.
All right, that's
Take action.
just what we do, don't do anything.
Right. We have a second public hearing this evening.
Okay. Go do a motion.
No, we don't have to do a motion for tabling it.
We're just not
You
taking
just don't
action.
do anything.
Okay.
The second public hearing this evening is on proposed zoning ordinance update, batch 1, considering zoning amendments, as stated by Ms. Bishop.
I will just read over the memo really quickly. In a continued effort to update and revise the zoning ordinance for clarification, functionality, and overall benefit to the county, which is seeming to be more and more important these days, staff will periodically bring forward proposed amendments for consideration. Public hearing process is required for any proposed change to the ordinance. This is a set of 3 different ordinances. They can be considered separately if you'd like, or all together. The first one is removing artist community as a use from the zoning ordinance altogether and removing the associated definitions. This was a use that was added into the ordinance a few years back and specifically for somebody, and it never came to fruition. Somebody applied for it, it went to the planning commission, and the planning commission decided this isn't really a use that fits in our ordinance for Nelson County, so they decided they wanted to see that removed from the ordinance. The second one is updating the definition of a restaurant to remove the language regarding required floor area for dancing. The provision is that I believe only 1/8 of the floor area can be reserved for dancing, so we'll take that out and make it a little more modernized. And then the third ordinance is adding restaurant as a by right accessory use in the N1 Limited Industrial District. And this was a request for Blue Mountain Barrel House. We looked into it and realized that restaurants allowed also in the M2 district and B1 and B2. So it just is more cohesive to also have it as an option in the M1 district. At their meeting on March 24th, the Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of all 3 of the updates. You have a draft there in front of you with the highlighted updates. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
What is an artist community here? What are they?
It's very vague.
It was very vague.
Artists, like painting.
Yeah, or,
Well, here's the definition. A facility that provides resident artists with artist community residencies in a rural setting. An artist community includes art studios, exhibition and presentation space, and temporary lodging accommodations for resident artists, and includes the accompanying office, kitchen, and food service, communal space, and maintenance areas to service the resident artists and staff.
There are,
It's just starting, it's setting up a little small community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of one in Norwood, I can think of another one in down near Phoenix, sort of like, so those things would be allowed, it was a superfluous designation, is that what you said?
Yep, so all the uses that are listed there can be approved by other means that give a little more oversight to it. So the planning commission decided that this isn't something that we should be regulating.
They could go in there by right and establish one of these neighborhoods.
Yeah, I can see the idea of having an artist community. I'm sympathetic to that, but it's not you. You're saying it's not necessary.
It would necessitate, in most cases, special use permits,
Yeah.
which would come up for review with the planning commission as well as the board. of
It would just move me by right now. My real concern is if we'll be able to dance at Blue Mountain any longer.
I believe that question can be answered today.
Are we gonna cancel all dancing now, I guess?
To answer your question, what I think you're asking is it does not prevent the dancing?
Great,
Yes.
good, I was worried.
Any other questions for Ms. Bishop?
No.
But, well, dancing is very important to me. I have to say that, that we're not restricting dancing, are we?
I agree, which is why we are taking it out of the
Do you
definition.
dance for the king?
I dance with anyone who will dance with me,
Hey, Tommy, was that an offer?
except for Tommy. I'm sorry.
Made that motion.
Thank you, Ms. Bishop. Okay. So we will open the public hearing
No.
on the proposed zoning ordinance update as stated. Anyone who wishes to speak to the,
This is the
The Board of Supervisors?
anti-dancing coalition.
this is your chance. You have 3 minutes, name and address, please.
Okay, yes, Taylor Smack, 9585 Ratchet Road, Afton. I was only going to set aside an eighth of the floor for dancing, but I will now double that.
Thank you, thank you.
I'll
Yeah,
say-
doors.
I'll say the same thing I said in the planning commission meeting, which is I don't really have anything to say about this, but I wanted to be here to answer questions. So this is obviously the third part of the zoning changes request made on our behalf. As just a little insight, with COVID, the beer market's been a little rough on craft breweries, not so much on site, but in the marketplace, not a lot of bars and restaurants to buy our beer and whatnot. So we're brewing less than half the amount of beer down the barrel house we ever did before. So we're trying to become more self-sufficient. And even though we've always had food and whatnot, it's been from a food truck, and that kind of limits how many people we can really effectively serve. So we're trying to just amp that kitchen up a little bit. And if y'all have been down there, you've seen we've added a little bit more to the patio and the pergola, and just trying to make it a little bit more of a on-site revenue generator. That's pretty much it. So I can answer any questions that you have.
I consider it to be an important asset to the community.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we're trying to get some of that traffic down to 29.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did say a lot about that in the planning commission meeting, so.
There you go.
Get off 151 and get them over
There
here.
you go. I knew I'd have full support on that.
If you open a brewery in Livingston, we're here for you.
Yeah, it's so close and everything.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I'm already happy with where it's located, I'm just saying.
Most of the drunks have passed away around Livingston.
That's true.
Try to open one in all 5 districts eventually. But
That'd be great.
we're not there.
Just for the record, I have the Barrel House and Devil's Backbone, so. West
You
District
know,
looked pretty good.
listen, this is redistricting, and something's
Not
gonna
gonna
happen.
happen, not gonna
I'll
happen.
kick you out of Woodridge.
I'm like, if we redistrict, I'm taking Bull Rock too.
You're just gonna gerrymander your way out. Okay.
Well, if you all have any questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, thanks for.
It's like Monopoly now.
Okay. Since there's no one left that can speak to this, I will close public hearing. Anyone like to follow up with anything here?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move that we approve the 3 recommendations from the planner and the planning commission, and to deal with artisan community, restaurant. Is that it? 2?
And restaurant is a by right.
Yeah, and
accessory.
M1.
Second.
Any further discussion? Ms. Meyer?
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mr. Harvey?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, can I move?
You may.
I move that we adjourn this meeting. Or is there a continue?
Did you want to see if anybody else had anything else?
No,
Well, we will have discussion.
there's
doesn't
discussion
have-
after my
He
motion.
doesn't have a second for his motion yet, so.
I don't have anything.
We have a motion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion or other business?
None.
Okay.
Do you all want to continue? Are you meeting on May 4th?
Do we continue until the,
We could do a special call meeting, 3 days in advance.
I thought we didn't do that at our last work session.
All you gotta do is call, you can call a meeting.
yeah.
Well, I think we already
called
made a motion for the
the
public hearing.
Public hearing.
We can run to the public hearing, but you still have to either continue this meeting or I think you can call that meeting, it's no problem.
I mean, I can continue right now.
Let's just continue.
I amend my motion to continue this meeting to, what's it, May the 4th
May the
at
4th.
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Second.
What's that for?
We're just
Tax.
continuing the meeting
I
instead
know, but what is it
Tax.
for?
of the budget
The
public
budget.
hearing.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I want, I just wanted to make dancing at bars easier, right?
Yes.
Yes,
You did.
non-tax. Dancing shall not be taxed.
That's most of my constituents here.
Dancers.
Okay.
Motion
Should we take a vote?
Mr. Harvey? Mr. Harvey?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
First round's on you.
I've been to a lot of these meetings, they're very quick and pleasant.
You've been going to the wrong one.
Yeah.
We probably could have done this like